In a move that ultimately should surprise nobody, Chuck Schumer has once again today tried to pry defeat from the jaws of victory. This story broke a couple of hours ago, but I actually had to calm down before I could talk about it. I may have lost my temper a little bit on Blue Sky, but now I'm able to talk about it in a rational manner. So a couple of hours ago, news broke first from CNBC and now The Hill and other folks are reporting it. Chuck Schumer went crawling to the Republicans and said, if you'll give us a 1-year extension on the Affordable Care Act, we'll end the shutdown. Coming off the back of this week's sweeping Democratic election victories, on a day when the USDA has announced that they are actually releasing SNAP benefits after all. I told y'all that they would. I told you that they would if we kept pushing. By the way, I have multiple friends on SNAP who have told me that their EBT balance has come in. When Democrats are in a position of strength to advocate for American healthcare, American lives, democracy, and the rule of law, do they ask Republicans to come to them with an offer? No. Does Democratic leadership say, hey, Republicans, look at what happened this week with the elections. Look at how Donnie just had to release all of these SNAP funds. How about you make us an offer? In fact, how about you give us every single one of our demands and we will reopen the government? By the way, have you looked at the polling? Wow, Donald Trump, wow, Republicans, y'all are really getting your ass handed to you in the polls over the government shutdown because public opinion is with the Democrats. Public opinion is that the Democrats are doing the right thing and Republicans and Donald Trump are to blame for the shutdown. Chuck Schumer, as the leader of the minority party in the Senate, could not have been in a position of more strength, of more power. And he fucking tried to hand it away this morning. Hey, Chucklefuck, I know you've been at this for a long time, but you don't actually go to the opposition with the minimum you are willing to accept as your opening move in a negotiation. Where were you going to go from there? Please give us a 1-year extension of the ACA and let us form some kind of committee to investigate what we might do going forward. Those were your two asks. With Donald Trump still having sweeping rescission powers, so that if Congress appropriates money for something, he can just be like, no, I'm just going to move that around. I'm not going to let you have that. With massive Medicaid cuts still coming, with no guarantee that Republicans would follow through on their word to actually fund ACA subsidies, you went to them with that lame ass fucking offer. Resign, Chuck Schumer, resign. I've been saying it since March and I will say it every fucking day. Resign. You are not equipped for this moment in history. What the hell do you think you're doing? It's even worse. I mean, honestly, okay, told myself I'm taking it down, y'all. Republicans immediately rejected this pathetic offer from Schumer. They called it a, quote, non-starter, according to The Hill. Chuck went in with the bare minimum, so much less than what the Democrats told us they were fighting for, and immediately rejected by Republicans who are coming from a position of weakness. Now Chuck has no room to negotiate anywhere. He never did in the first place because he is wholly unqualified to lead this fight. Don't forget that Chuck Schumer, who's been entrenched in DC for ages, doesn't actually know how working class people live. He's completely detached from our needs and what the government is doing to us. He has this make-believe family that he pictures when he thinks of us, the Baileys. He doesn't actually think about his real constituents. It's this fantasy family he's built in his head, who is still living in 1975. You don't believe me? Google Chuck Schumer and the Baileys. Actually, John Oliver, I think, had a good video on it a while back. This is a man who should not be in leadership. I guess I just want to encourage y'all to call your Democratic senators and say, were you in support of this? Were you behind this? Did you think this was a good idea? Do you think Chuck Schumer is doing right by the American people? Do you think that this was a power move? Y'all are in a position now where you have power to negotiate to protect us and protect democracy. And doesn't it seem like Chuck Schumer just went and handed that all away? What for? Why did he do that? I mean, to me, the move seems almost nonsensical unless you consider that Chuck Schumer might be controlled opposition. Unless you consider the fact that maybe he's not really an ally in the fight for democracy at all. And I know that's not true of every Democratic senator. My senators, Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden, absolutely fighting for democracy, absolutely care about the rule of law, absolutely are doing everything that they can. And I certainly hope they were not behind this weak-ass, pathetic little offer that Chuck made today. I really encourage you to email and call your Democratic senators and ask them if they were on board with this. Ask them what they think of Chuck's leadership. and let them know how you feel. Because I know for me, right, getting anything less than what Elizabeth Warren and other Senate Democrats initially demanded, restoration of ADA subsidies, restoring Medicaid, pulling back Trump's tremendous rescission power. Rescission power is what the Republicans have handed Donald Trump. They are allowing him to cancel funds that have been allocated by Congress for specific purposes. So when Congress is like, yeah, we're going to fund this, if they've allowed Donald Trump to be like, no, I'm going to move that money over here instead, what good are any of the promises from the Republicans? I shouldn't have been disappointed, right? Like every time the Democrats act like they're going to figure out how to grow a spine, they act like they're going to figure out how to actually fight for democracy. Democratic establishment leadership fucks it up. Moderate Democrats who are more concerned about their political donor. I mean, I really think that's what's going on here, is that the shutdown is not good for the economy. Even when the victory this week, the polling this week shows that Democrats are in a position to be making demands, and not demands on behalf of them politically, but demands on behalf of us, protecting our health care, protecting our lives. They don't fucking do it. Chuck Schumer didn't do it. I shouldn't be disappointed, but I am also outraged at the same time. And I don't know how you feel. I just, again, think about calling your senator, think about emailing your senator and asking them what the fuck is going on, because how on earth did Chuck Schumer and Democratic leadership think that this was going to go over well with American voters? It leaves us feeling betrayed. It leaves us feeling like your political maneuvering matters more than our lives, matters more than our health care. Chuck Schumer was going to go ahead and hand over everything the Democrats have been holding out for, except for two tiny things: 1-year extension on ACA subsidies and a committee to investigate whatever, more committees, more strongly worded letters, more committees. And if he got those things, he was saying that he and the Democrats would vote to reopen the government and to go ahead and continue to fund all of the terrible things that Donald Trump is doing to us. What do you think? What do you think the Democrats should do? What do you think your senator should be demanding? What do you think representation for us would look like right now? Because God knows we're not getting it from Chuck Schumer.